This is going to be the Realm Reborn review. Now, I took some time to think about it. I could have just made a straight video where everything was edited, everything was, pretty much stricken down to what I want, rather than just a general off the fresh dome review how I feel about it, like a more genuine thing, like where I can't go back on my words and like say something else. You know what I mean? This is straight hot from the brain what I feel about the game. So let's get into it. I think the very first thing about the game itself, about any MMO, is creating the character, and honestly, it's pretty good. Like, if I go play a new character, you can even save your character's appearance. I mean, like, dude, you got like a shitload of races. Shitload of races, right? They all have, I believe, like, what? Variations? So that's, like, even cooler, bro. More character immersion. You know what I mean? There's more character immersion. So, like, if I wanted to be, I could just be like a, the cat boy. This is not it. Like, I can choose the clan. Sons, right? But I think that's really good. That's really good for character identity. That's what I'm gonna put all this under, is character identity. So we can go ahead and go into the game now. But yeah, character creation. I'd say character creation for this game hits probably the best of both worlds, where it's pretty simple to make your character, but there's a lot of options. Whereas like BDO is a shitload of options, and then WoW is like really simple. Granted, they've added more options, but this kind of gives you that middle ground that's really easy. Yeah, BDO has an epic one, but like, I'm gonna take the, like, cause WoW's really, it's okay in character creation. It's gotten better, but like, this is, I feel like, a good middle ground. You can make your character look kind of good. Yeah, it's a 10-year-old game, but you can make your character look pretty good. Customize how you like, but it's not like over the top where you can customize every little thing. You know what I mean? So I've played BDO. Another thing for the, I'm keeping this all under character identity, class identity, is the classes themselves. So, coming from World of Warcraft, and I've played pretty much every iteration of the game, the thing I really liked about older World of Warcraft, and to an extent like Warlocks and Pandaria, and then Legion in general, was the class identity. Like, I like doing stuff that's exclusive to my class, because it makes me feel like my class, you know? So I think that every class has a fucking quest line is the coolest thing ever. Like, you get to do this Dark Knight class quest, but someone that never levels up the Dark Knight will never be able to play that story unless they play the Dark Knight, because it's exclusive to the Dark Knight. It is the Dark Knight story. So I think it's really cool, and plus you get abilities, and they tell you where like these abilities and stuff come from, or how you learn them. I think it's just really cool. It's like, it is fully immersive. Like, you're training to become an even stronger version of your class. And not to mention that your class can evolve, like the base jobs can evolve, which I think is really cool. It's like an evolution, pretty much, right? I feel like the newer job, I'd compare them like to Pokemon, where like the newer jobs, you don't have to like evolve when you just reach a certain level. So they're like the mythical and legendary classes, and then the base jobs are just like your starters, right? But the starters roll because they evolve and they turn some of the coolest shit into the game. Like, bro, there's a reason why people still like Charizard. Like, let's see. I have to go to Foundation. Like, they even do it. to even do it. Even do these quests. Now, granted, I've only done A Realm Reborn, but so far, every class quest I've done have been, like, every class story I've done has been super cool. I'm not lying. So, character identity and immersion in this game and class identity, I think it's fucking amazing, man. I think it's honestly top notch. And you can see how much care is taken into these classes because of just straight, they get their own story. And you get it every 5 levels. That's crazy. In DLCs, they become role quests and are 1 time per role character. Even then, that's still cool. Even then, like, and of course, I'm gonna go over that when, you know, I get to those parts of the game. Even like a role or anything, but everyone has a story, which I think is cool, you know? I really enjoyed the black mage quests. They've been really fucking cool. So, yeah. Character identity and immersion, I'd say is top notch. I'd say that's probably one of the biggest draws to this game, honestly. I think it is, I think, honestly, I think it's underrated. Like, how much character identity is in this game. Even, like, to the emotes are great. And I'm just talking about from, like, standpoint of, like, questing and making your own character. I'm gonna get into the glamour and stuff later. Alright. Let's just get that up. This is just straight up, like, the creation of the characters, how your there's a lot of people online. What the fuck? Maybe it's because I usually played in the day, but I think if you were looking for something that can get you engrossed in, like, your character, this is definitely a game. And I just astounded at how much is put into just making the identity of your character yours, you know? Alright. Next up, October event in there. Alright. The gameplay. Now, let's be real, it's 10 years old. It's the, you know, the classic tab target. I mean, let's just be real, it is what it is. The tab target system. Rocking the Moogle staff, of course. It's the tab target system, right? I'm a sucker for tab target MMOs because I grew up on World of Warcraft. So, like, this is not out of my limit, you know? Not out of my, area. I can see how some people might not like it, which is totally fine. Maybe some people prefer, like, BDO or Blade and Soul or something like that. But I do like how every spell feels unique and it feels good. Well, I mean, coming from a Black Mage perspective and a Dark Knight perspective, I don't know about the other classes, they definitely feel good. And they look good. You know what I mean? So as far as just like from playing the game, I think playing the game is great. Or if you're a fan of tag targeting MMOs, it's great. Another thing I really like about this game is that its mechanics are so clear. That is what was crazy to me. Coming from like WoW and other games where like, well, mostly WoW for like raiding. There's not really a marker unless you're using deadly boss mods for certain things. Like, if it's a stack, in this game, it'll clearly show you what to stack on. It has the arrows, which I thought was super fucking cool. Like, holy shit. Crazy. The areas are really telegraphed, which I like, which I think they started doing in Dragonflight, where it's a lot more telegraphed in WoW, but I like how clear and concise everything is. Like, you're not confused what you're getting hit by or what you need to do. It's not confusing, if that makes sense. Like when I was doing the raids and the encounters, it seemed very clear to stack here, to go here, don't get hit by this, just all that, and that's really nice. Cause like it's frustrating to like die to something you didn't know about, because I mean it's a fucking, what's it called? Knowledge check sometimes, but you have never done it, you would not have the knowledge, and you'll get frustrated, and it just cuts down on frustration, I feel, which is very good. And all the classes play different. Like when I play the Black Mage, it does not, or if I play the Dark Knight, right, it feels no way similar to the Paladin. Like the Dark Knight feels so much different than the Paladin. Whereas like the Black Mage feels so much different than Red Mage. And Bard and Samurai, like they all feel different. I can't speak for like later classes because again, it's only Realm Reborn. We're still in Heaven's Ward, whatever. I'm never gonna say it correctly apparently, so you know, it is what it is. But yeah, that's what I think about the gameplay. I think the gameplay is really good. Like if you enjoy tap targeting MMOs, the spells look nice. They feel nice. My boy Papa Sean, he needs to get in here on the review of the A Realm Reborn because he's the GOAT. Let's be real. The GOAT. Alright. The story. I put the story as third topic. I'm gonna keep it spoiler free. That is huge. Because after playing just straight up a Realm Reborn story, I can see all the time and dedication put into the remaking this entire base game, and holy crap, the story is really amazing so far, and people tell me it gets even better, so I'm looking forward to it. I like the characters. I think that's the biggest part, is that the characters are always around and you get to grow with your characters. You grow with the cast. I like that. You grow with the cast. You know what I mean? When you're growing with the cast, it feels good. And honestly, I will say this. There are some holes in some stories I saw. But maybe it gets resolved later, and maybe it doesn't. But that doesn't matter because, you know, it's still at the end of the day a good story. And, I mean, there were times I was getting emotional, I was getting legit mad, I was sad. So yeah, if the story moved me to certain emotions, and I think that's a good sign that you got something special, right? You got something special if something's going to move you, right? So, I'm gonna keep that brief, because if you want to, if like, this video comes to you and you're on the fence about playing the game or anything, play the story. I'm not gonna say anything about it because it needs to be witnessed. There's a lot of cool shit. The systems and features. There is a lot of systems, a lot of features. I mean, it's a 10-year-old game. What do you expect? There are some I do like, and there are some that I'm just not a fan of. This is probably where most of my nitpicks are gonna come in, but I'm gonna get started on just, I like the armory thing, and I don't. I like that you can, on the fly, swap through everything. That's totally cool, but maybe it's just because I'm a hoarder, so everything gets fucking just clamped together. Maybe I haven't figured it out yet, but I don't like that. I do like that your character can be every class, though. That's crazy to me. That's a good and a bad thing for me, because I'm an altaholic. I like making alts. Sure, I could just make another alt, but then I would be at ground zero, I guess. But I could literally just dedicate everything to this one character and not have to worry about it, right? I can just play as one character and have all the classes. That's actually cool. It makes you feel like you're actually, you know, learning new things. Not just gonna be a Dark Knight. Not gonna be different classes. You get to play all the roles on your character. You don't have to make a new character or anything. It's just great. I honestly think that's great. I think more MMOs should offer it. Maybe stuff like WoW and everything offer it in like a restricted vacuum first. Like maybe like make it to where you can have 2 classes just to kind of see, because it works in Final Fantasy really well. I think that's what is good, but also bad. I do like the convenience that you can just play everything on there, but that also kind of rubs you away from playing the other races if you're too attached to your one character, you know? You know, some people like playing one character, some people like playing 20 different ones. That's just a personal opinion. So at the end of the day, this is just going to be your personal opinion on whether you like the one person thing or you would just rather play 20 alts that are all different classes. Do which one you want. The glamour system, I'm gonna be real. I'm not a fan of it. I like how everything looks, don't get me wrong, and I like that you can, you know, do every piece, but if I didn't have people in my chat telling me how to do everything correctly in the grammar stuff, and I still do it wrong, I'd be lost, dude. I would be absolutely lost. I mean, maybe it's just something, it's minuscule, I know, because it has no bearing on gameplay, but let's be real, appearances and glamours are the end game, because that is just unlimited content for you to play. Trying to get these pieces of gear to look, right? And it's just unlimited content. Now my other thing is like, is it really necessary? Is it really necessary? Yeah, Glam, the quest needs a better tutorial and onboarding tips. Yeah, that is just big. Is it really necessary to have these things right here for glamours? I mean, there's a lot of bad. There's a lot of like just stuff that holds World of Warcraft down, but I gotta say it's got probably the best transmog system I've seen. That would be something I'd like to see, is like where you don't have to have the item anymore, have the appearance. Once you unlock the appearance, you have it. That was just so convenient, and it would just be in a collection, and you can see everything and all the, like, say I'm on my Dark Knight. What I'd really like to see, and it would be really cool, maybe this is just a pipe dream, maybe I'm just WoW fanboying right now, but I would really like to have like maybe like in the law, or the logs, maybe you add like a appearance tab. You click the appearance tab. I'm currently Dark Knight, so it's only going to show me stuff that is on Dark Knight. The only thing we know about the issue with the glam system is a limitation from the original 1.0 version. So it's a coding thing, isn't it? It's like 1.0 thing that's still in the game. They would have to like redo everything, wouldn't they? I mean, at the end of the day, though, it's just it's dated really bad. Because like I said, it'd be better if you could just have a collections tab of all the gear, and it would just be easy to navigate, right? Like I felt like I had to have a PhD just to figure out how to fucking change my sword in something else. Well, I had a staff at the time, but you know what I mean. But I don't know. I think it just needs to be worked on. New engine update? Yeah, I hope so. I hope with the new engine update, they do something similar to how WoW does it. Or some other idea that just makes everything so much easier. Because it's not that even it's hard, it's just very confusing. confusing. It like trips over itself a lot. So that's another nitpick, but it is what it is. And I'm gonna go on another confusing trend. Now, if you have troubles with like reading, okay, we all know I suck at reading, but I think for like some of these things, you can't just have like a pop-up window telling you what to do. Because like most people will probably not fucking read it, or they just skim through it and not fucking read it very clearly, and they don't know what to do. Like when you first load in, you get like what, 6 of them? Hold on, actually let's see how many you get. I'm curious, because I know you get a lot. Maybe I'm trolling, but like the pop-up windows are just a lot. Let's create a new one. Where's the create character? Is there a random button? I just won't look at the screen. So we'll just... And we'll go all ROM, why not? Female all ROM. Sure. That's fine. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to... We're just creating a random character, it doesn't matter. Wow, I can't even make characters. I can make them on Cactuar now, but I can't make them on Midgard Sormer anymore. Crazy. Make one. We'll just make random one. Delete. Why not? Alright. I'm just curious. Yeah, create this character. Yeah, amazing. Thank you. It's just a lot of fucking... Or maybe I'm trolling. But I felt like it was a lot of windows. Now, granted, this review is gonna be longer than the other ones because this is A Realm Reborn. I know a streamer had a hard time reading and he used this game's MSQ to help him get more confidence in his reading. I will say, yeah, the main story quest, holy shit, you are gonna be reading a lot of stuff. Alright, how many of these are? When you just first log into the game. First, you get this. You gotta choose mouse and keyboard, of course, like... Okay. Like, there's one right here. Initiating quests. And it tells you to talk to them. Then you talk to them. You get a cutscene, which is fine. Cutscene can't be skipped. Like, I remember at one point, I had like 6 of these windows on my screen. It's fine, but it's like... I think in practice, what could help is, instead of just words and a screenshot, maybe like a little like video or like a little arrow pointing, like instead of this, you get like a big arrow pointing right here. You know what I mean? Instead of it just being a screenshot. I don't know. Maybe I felt overwhelmed. Maybe it was because of these. I don't know. I feel like it would just be easier with like a big ass arrow sometimes showing you what. I exited the game. God damn it. Give me 1 sec. While we're doing that, more stuff. Hit exit. Usually exit game takes me like 20. No, it's log out. But oh, load. Thank you. Okay. think also like the loot system's kind of. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to it. But like the loot system feels weird. Where it's just like the little tab. I mean, granted it's nice, but I mean like I think you should just be able to get another of an item. Well, I guess it also like restricts you from getting another one because you can be any class. So that makes sense. But I don't know. Because I'll be doing it and I'll just forget it even exists in the bottom right. I'm not even gonna lie. We run dungeons sometimes. I just forget loot exists in the bottom right. I'm not gonna lie. I just forget it exists. So, yeah. Another thing I do like is the minions. I mean, I'm just a sucker for minions, right? I mean, you can say what you want. I mean, minions are minions. It's another dimension of the game, right? It's the same as mounts, which the mounts look incredible. I like the mounts. I think the hunting logs, all the logs are cool. I think these are cool. It like this feature, it gives you so much content to do in the game. Like it's crazy. And I do like the system of dungeons, trials, and raids. I like that trials are not like your standard raid. It's just a trial. It's just like one boss, and you're just gonna fight him. And Realm Reborn's trials were cool. They were just these primals, these big beefy motherfuckers. They were awesome. They all had cool soundtracks. It felt epic fighting them. So yeah, I honestly like those. And I enjoy the dungeons. The dungeons are very good paced, and like this goes back to the story a little bit, but the pacing of A Realm Reborn is so good until you hit 50. When you hit 50, that's when it slows down. It's not terrible, but you do get this feeling of it is slowed you down. Have you tried an extreme trial yet? I have not, and I'm looking forward to it. But it just felt like you just slowed down to a crawl in the story. I'm not gonna lie to you. Honestly, if I didn't have help from like chat and a lot of people after like post ARR, I would have been lost. And I would still probably be playing A Realm Reborn. End game. Good hands. Anyways. Yeah, I like that stuff. That stuff is cool. I guess we'll put this under systems, because I didn't make it its own, like, thing, but it's okay. Crafting. Now, crafting is fucking awesome. I honestly think it's fucking cool. I don't know about y'all. I think this is one of the more intricate craftings. It feels like you are actually crafting it instead of you just click button and you automatically make it. Like there's a reason to make a higher quality craft. There's a reason to do it. I think that's awesome. I think crafting is cool. It makes you feel like an actual... And the fact that it has its own quest line... Like, bro, come on, man. The crafting is fucking awesome. And, I mean, fishing is crazy. Like, the non-combat jobs are pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. And then, of course, the fisherman. Wait, do we even really have to go into fishing? Like, fishing is fucking amazing. Go on deep sea fishing, it is fucking crazy. Unless, of course, you're going for the mount, and you just never fucking get it because you never reached 10k. And welcome to my life. But, yeah. I think crafting is also, like, a very strong suit of this game, because it feels really... It feels good, I think. It feels good. and you get a nice little story. Like the Goldsmith one was funny with the little robot so far. I think he's hilarious. Now, granted, I'm not complete with any of this stuff, so there's time to change. But this is like a base. This is like I finished Realm Reborn, you know. Okay, systems, features. Is there anything else I'm really skipping out on? I already did all the swapping, the profiles, the classes, the jobs. I mean, reputation. Wait, 39 commendation. I don't even know what that is. Crafting is great. Inventory demands are crazy. I mean, that's any MMO. Honestly, Final Fantasy is a lot more generous with inventory, so I'm not even upset. As far as like starting off inventory, I should say, because you got this, you get 2 retainers, you get a saddle bag, like you do get a lot of inventory, which is cool. What else? Before we move on, I do like how you get your flying a lot better. Sell some fish. Yeah, maybe I should, huh? Getting your mount was pretty good. I like that it's tied to the story for the first playthrough. Now, for my second playthrough, I don't know how that is, but the first playthrough, getting your mount through the story is nice. It means you just can't skip it. Well, not skip it, but you can't just go off and fuck off. You know what I mean? But yeah, as that. Let me just try and wrap up if there's any other systems I want to talk about. I mean, the guild stuff's cool. The system, I mean, you say the housing's a little like archaic, but I don't mind the housing. I actually think it's cool. Like, you can actually do that in this game. You can actually have neighbors in the game. Oh, we got a connection lost again. Let's go. Only some store mounts are account wide. Yeah. Which is another thing, but hey, it is what it is, right? We're having problems with this game today. Okay, so we're gonna wrap that up to systems and features. There's some you're gonna like, there's some you're not gonna like. It's pretty simple. Is it a make or break for the game? I don't think so. Like I said, this game like respects your time. Like, if you don't like doing one thing, there's probably... You're probably not going to have to do it, right? If you don't want to do it, there's probably some way of you not having to do it. Unless, like, it's the story, right? So, like, if you don't like... I tried Palace of the Dead. It was okay. But if you don't like Palace of the Dead, you don't gotta play it. It's that simple. That system, you don't have to do it. Maybe you do later on, but as far as I know, you just don't have to do it unless you want that Necromancer title or whatever that title is. You don't gotta do it. You don't gotta worry about it. Okay, we'll just move on. Like I said, game respects your time. There's gonna be some things you don't like. There's gonna be some things you do like, and you don't have to engage any of it. Looks and aesthetics of the game. Now, let's keep in mind this is a 10 years old game, and me personally, for a 10-year-old game, it still looks pretty good. There are still areas that are really nice, even in A Realm Reborn. Like, there are some crazy cool areas for a 10-year-old game. Like, I think the aesthetics of the races are really good. I think the looks of the armors are really cool. The weapons are great. And I think it has a nice aesthetic. It does give you that taste of fantasy, like this, just the classic fantasy taste. So I mean, like, look, you log in, there's like fucking 1, 2, 3, like, relax, man. I think it's just good. And I'm tying a lot of looks and aesthetics into like how the game looks, the aesthetic of the game, the world building of the game, like the world, right? World. We're gonna go and go to. No, we're not going there. We're just gonna go to some random place in Gridania. Story mill's fine. All right. This is also going to be a thing. How the game looks comparatively with like Mondstadt. This is also a big thing. There are actual people out here in the world, even like in Gridania. You know what I mean? There's actual people, and like, see, this looks like it'd be like a little natural place, right? The game looks nice. Even this is Gridania. This isn't an expansion zone or anything. This comes straight in the base game. This is A Realm Reborn. You will be here. This is a level 29 zone. Like, it looks nice. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, like, look, it's kind of rough. I mean, it's a 10-year-old game, but from the perspective of just looking at it, it still looks nice. Maybe I'm just a sucker, and these are dog shit graphics, but I like the aesthetic of the game. I think it looks nice. It has a certain aesthetic it's going for, and it looks good. It has a it feels like, I don't know. It feels to me like classic WoW. Like, I know it isn't looking the greatest, but I have a soft spot for it because I personally think it looks good to me. It looks appealing to me. So maybe it's just my opinion, because, you know, at the end of the day, it's my opinion. I think it just looks good. This isn't Dragon Ball music. Yeah, I think it's just nice. And like, see, you get the little bats, you get the big Triumph guy. I think it looks good. Another thing about world building is pace of the game. It goes back to the pace of the game, but the world building of the game, like the entire world, it's most of A Realm Reborn. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's most of A Realm Reborn is building the world. But it is important because it is building your foundation of the game. And this is a pretty strong foundation. And you will go through all the base zones in the story mode. And you'll get a lowdown of how everything works in these zones, and I think that is great. It immerses you in the game, you know? You know these people, these quests, these stories are really cool. Like Quarry Mill. I can tell you one thing that happened in Quarry Mill. Some guy got hurt or whatever, and you had to talk to I think it was this guy. And then you had to go talk to Albretta, and you had to save him. And they're Alamegans, and so all these people are treating them bad. Like, see, it'll stick with you. You just come to these zones and you remember. Another big thing I like about this game is these zones are never invalidated for level. What the fuck is? He's like fucking Power Green Ranger. Anyways, it's never invalidated. If you want to go level up a new class that's like level 1 or whatever, you can come to fucking Gridania and level up. There's a lot. You'll see people. That is a big thing, is seeing people in the world, right? Like, I can go to probably Camp Drybone and maybe see somebody. Where on my server and WoW, I can probably go to Duskwood and see no one. Or Duskwood. Or, you know, I say that and there's not a single person here now. I've been baited. I baited myself. But the world does just seem a lot more populated. As in, like, the overworld instead of just the city. You'll see people all the time. Like, there's gonna be no shortage of just, like, seeing people. As I'm saying that, there's literally no one here. Maybe it's because I'm streaming at night right now, but you will typically see people out in the world. Like, let me go to, just random Korthus Dragon Head. Right? I think that's a big thing. Seeing people in the other zones. See, like, look, boom, Cam Dragon Head. 2 people right there. There's people everywhere. And that's big because, like, no one wants to play a game where you don't see any. Well, an MMO, I should say. You don't play an MMO not to see anyone. You know what I mean? It's kind of the point of the MMO to see people. And when you don't see people in an MMO, that's pretty bad, because that means a few things. Like, either the game's bad, no one's playing it, or the zone is invalidated and no one's gonna touch it ever again. I mean, heck, even the other day, we went and did, we randomly did this Odin thing, and it was cool. And we got this armor, bro, like, it was cool. So, overall, I think the game itself looks pretty decent, like, looks-wise, right? I think it has an aesthetic, A Realm Reborn has an aesthetic that is really nice. To me personally, it appeals to my sense of fantasy. If you're an enjoyer of fantasy, yeah, by all means. Okay. The community. 10 areas per DLC, then yeah, dude. And they're not invalidated. That's the best part. They're not invalidated. Okay, the community. I will say this, man. The community of this game is one of the most special things I've seen about this game. It's honestly, it's probably the best part of this game. And it's not just the players, it's the devs, it's everyone for this game. It's like everyone has collectively come together to just enjoy the game. You know what I mean? That is what's crazy. And the fact of the matter is, A Realm Reborn exists because of that dedication. They could have easily just left 14 in its 1.0 version, just let it die. But, you know, we watched the documentaries, the Chads themselves came in, remade the whole game, and made this beautiful fucking achievement. Like, this is, we'll probably never see something like this happen again. Like a total 180 like this. We'll likely never see something like this. But devs, Yoshi P, all of them, amazing. Amazing, actually. That this was actually done. The community itself, y'all are amazing. Everything. Very helpful. Very helpful for new players, for returning players, for veteran players. I never stepped foot into a community of a game where they were just so... Everyone is just so... How should I put this? Eager to help you if you are in help or in need of it. If you are in need of it, you know what I mean? If you are in need of it, you can find help, which is very cool. Not likely in an MMO market, yeah. Like, it's not gonna happen in an MMO market for a while. No one's gonna take a risk like that ever again. Probably not. It is highly unlikely. And there's so much just love in the community for just people that play the game. It's amazing, honestly, and I hope that never changes. I think that's one of the charming things about this game. Yeah, the story's really good, but the people that inhabit Eorzea, aka the players, they're amazing. It's crazy. I don't even think I've had like a negative experience in this game. Like, I've played the game for a better part of like 2.5, 3 months now. I haven't even had a negative experience in the game. Like, hello? When's the last time you can say that about a game? And it's not like I'm not playing the game. I'm playing the game. Like, holy crap, man. It is crazy. And I think that is something very special. Is that it is an accepting community. Do you want help with that? I can call you rude names, like a radish or a cabbage or something. I mean, maybe, bro. But I think that is something that is very rare to find in a gaming space nowadays. You don't want the team to disband after one wipe in the Copperbell mines. Hey, man. You make the joke. But, I've playing SOD, man. Playing SOD. There was one wipe in a Dead Mines, and someone just instantly left. And I'm like, bro, it's just Dead Mines. And he's like, no, bro, y'all suck. I'm like, it's Dead Mines. This is the first dungeon. Where we disbanded. It takes more time to leave and find another group than it is actually to do the damn dungeon again. Or keep doing it. Like, oh my god. But that's another thing. I think it is just great. And everyone has been really helpful with me, and I'm just glad y'all do this for everyone, honestly. But now we come to the conclusion. I know it seemed bare, but I like it to be genuine. I would like my review to be genuine, just straight from me talking to you like I'm on stream. Maybe some people prefer if I just make a giant video. If y'all would rather have that in the future, by all means, maybe I'll do that instead for Haven's Ward. But it's like I'm getting to have the conversation with you. I will say this in my conclusion. It's gonna be simple, maybe. I like to rant a little bit. By the way, it works. Okay, perfect. So this game, I won't lie to you. Oh goodness. It really captured my nostalgia from classic WoW. Or not I didn't play classic. I played Burning Crusade back in the day, but it really captured how I felt playing Burning Crusade. Meeting a bunch of people that were nice, that I could play with. Feeling this sense of a world. I have no idea what's going on. I just want to figure it out. And the thing about it is, this is the most important part of this game. So if you're on the fence, I'm going to just straight up tell you this. This game respects your time. It respects the time you put in. You're never going to feel super behind if you're getting into the game. Because there's always stuff for you to do. But it's not going to be like, oh, you did this? Well, fuck you. It's gone. Like, no. It respects your time. And that is the biggest thing. Burning Crusade Classic respects your time. Because when you're leveling up, there's still something to be doing. But it's not like you're doing it for nothing. In Realm Reborn, you're not doing this for nothing. You're learning the basics of the game. You're learning your class. You're learning about your class with the quests. You're getting your abilities from quests. You go out to do like certain things for minions. You go do stuff to get your what are mine? Silver Serpents or whatever for my my grand company. There's just always something to do. And you're working towards something. It isn't like a grind because you're required to grind this to be able to play the game. No, it's saying play the game, and then you'll get stuff for playing the game. It's not saying grind this so you can have the ability to go play the rest of the game. Which I think is, it's respecting your time. You're not you feel like you're playing a game and you're not doing chores, is what I'm saying. You're not doing chores. You log on, you get to do what you want to do. You're not doing chores, so you can go do what you want to do. If that makes sense. And that's how Burning Crusade was for me. I log on, I go do what I want to do, and I log off. It's not like, I don't know the current state of Dragonflight, because I haven't played Dragonflight that much. I hit 70 and that was it. But Shadowlands was, you hit max, you grind all this shit out, so that way you can have the ability to play the game. Like, well, I don't want to do that. I just want to play the game. And then not to mention, if you're a new player, you don't know what's going on. And you will have no basis for this. This game as a new player, it respects you're a new player. It doesn't expect you to do all this stuff. It doesn't throw you in to the 6th fucking expansion to level up in. Hold on, what? Hold on, let me just see. Okay, my bad. BFA's the 7th expansion. It doesn't just... The game doesn't throw you into the 7th game. The 7th expansion and say, yo, I know you just fought this cool drag. Like, honestly, World of Warcraft's tutorial island, it's great. It's great. I love you going to the dungeon. It's cool, but there is nothing after that. There's no continuation after it. It's like, ayo, yeah, Sylvanas and, Varian are doing stuff. What? I don't know if you're still forced to level up in fucking BFA. But, it is what it is. So, total conclusion, you're on the fence, play the game. I'm not gonna give it a number rating. I will just straight up say, if you enjoy MMOs, high fantasy, Final Fantasy, or even just a good story game, like, you could just play the story. I highly recommend it, and this is just off A Realm Reborn. We haven't even gotten to the other parts of the game that I'm going to review when I finish those. So yes, end the story, guys. Try the game out. Put your time into it. It took me 2 months to do A Realm Reborn, and I'm glad I took the time. Put your time into it. That's my take on the game, unbiased. I mean, there's some things I don't like about the game. There's some things I love about the game. It's the best part. Just get to play the game.